I'm joined today by Dr. Monique Chism, who is the Director of the Office of State Support at the U.S. Department of Education. Monique is responsible for the oversight of Title I programs today. Welcome, Monique.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good to have the time to talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
This law was part of President Johnson's War on Poverty. Certainly came out of and is situated in the civil rights legislation of the time in the mid-1960s. But I want to ask you about what you see as the importance of Title I, particularly coming out of the civil rights era, and what it has meant for education and for children.
Thanks. That's a great question. So I think you're absolutely right to frame this question in terms of what was going on in the nation at the time. And so we were, a decade before Brown versus Board of Education had been passed.
Mm-hmm.
We were right on the heels of the Civil Rights Act in 64.
Yeah.
And then Johnson's agenda around the war on poverty was really an all-encompassing effort to not only end discrimination that had been present in our country, but also to tackle the core of it, which was poverty. And so you saw things related to Social Security and to food stamps and to jobs, and the Elementary and Secondary Education Act was the hallmark for education. And the idea really is the acknowledgement that education in our society is the pathway to being able to fulfill the vision of America, to the pursuit of happiness, all of the things that are wonderful about this country, that having a solid education and being able to partake of that helps to prepare one to fully engage in the citizenship of America and this country and this nation.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the very foundation of the idea of making sure that all students had access to a high quality education, regardless of their socioeconomic status, regardless of their race, regardless of their ability status or language ability, was monumental in the establishment of Title I. And so the significance really was a change for our country to focus on equity of opportunity. It said that if we supplement the resources in schools, that our theory of action is that supplementing state and local funding with federal resources will allow you to provide a higher quality of education for students who often need more services than their counterparts who come from wealthier communities. And the idea of this comprehensive approach to education was really ushered in, and so looking at the whole student and the needs that need to be in place for a high quality education system. So when I think about the importance of Title I, it's not only significant in the amount of funding that was earmarked and put aside for the initiative, it was also monumental in helping to change our philosophy and ideologies about the importance of education and what it took to ensure that all students had access to a high quality education.